Hi everyone, here I am. I'm so excited to be here to share this live stream series with you. So I really felt inspired to talk about stepping into your power because I feel like right now is such an important time for people to begin to wake up and really claim your gifts. And I wanted to talk about my journey of stepping into my power, my ongoing journey of stepping into my power. And today, the biggest thing that I want to focus on is recognizing and releasing what's keeping you small, right? Because we can't begin to step into our power unless we're aware of what's holding us back and we can release it. That's the biggest thing. And I'm going to tell you this whole time that you can use breathwork to do that. And I'm even going to show you today a little breathwork technique that it's very simple yet very powerful that you can do to release fear and anxiety and really start to step into your power. So the first thing I want to talk about is the question of why now, right? Why is it so important right now to really start to step into your power, uncover your gifts, and really start to step up into the most powerful version of yourself, right? Well, I'm sure everyone can feel we are in a really intense time right now, and the world is healing on a collective level. And that's amazing and it's so exciting. But what we're being called to do is heal from within as well. So that's really, really important to understand is right now collectively we're being asked to heal these huge wounds around trauma that has gone on for decades and centuries. And the world is just kind of waking up to this realization that all of this trauma has ensued and we now need to heal on a collective level. So we need all the healers, all the spiritual leaders, everyone who has gifts to share to really step up and share their gifts, right? But a lot of times what happens is it's a little bit easier said than done, right? A lot of us have fears or blocks or reasons why we might be afraid to fully put ourselves out there and fully step into our power, right? So whatever gifts we came here to share, we have this urge to share them, right? And I'm speaking from experience because I have felt this for a really long time. I know that I'm a healer. I know that I have a deeper purpose here. I know that I have a deeper gift to share, but I had a lot of fear around doing that, and there's so many reasons why. So today I really want to talk about being able to recognize what it is that's keeping you small and keeping you stuck, right? And keeping you repeating these old stories, these old patterns of negative thinking or thinking that you can't do something for a certain reason, or maybe you're stuck in this confusion of you're not sure what to do, right? And hey, everyone who's watching, hi, Emily. If you guys have questions, please feel free to write them so I can respond. I'd love to make this a discussion. And also, if you are aware of a fear that's holding you back or what's keeping you small or what's keeping you stuck, write it in the comments so I can respond to that and help you guys, okay? So if you know there's a fear, if you know there's something that you're I gotta get over this in order to really step into my power, or I have to do this in order to really know what my gifts are, then write it in the comments so I can respond to it. So how do you know what it is that's holding you back, right? How do you know what's keeping you small? And there's a few ways that you can do this. One, looking at the results in your life, right? So this is something I always say because it's super simple. If you want to know if you have a block or a limiting belief around something, the easiest way to know that is look at the results in your life, right? If there is something that you want in your life that you are not getting, that is telling you that you have some kind of block or limiting belief around that. So for example, let's say you want to make more money, right? And I know this is a really common one, so I'm going to use this as an example. So say you want to make more money, right? and you've only been able to get to a certain level of income, and then it feels like you kind of have this like glass ceiling, right, where you can't get past this certain point. Well, that result, the fact that you want more and it's not coming, is showing you that there's some kind of block there. There's some kind of limiting belief, most likely living in your subconscious mind, that you are playing on repeat in your subconscious mind that's holding you back from creating the things that you want, right? So that's one way of seeing what might be keeping you stuck or what might be holding you back, is just look at the results you're getting in your life, right? Look at your life. Everything you see around you is your creation. That's your teacher telling you where you need to work on things or what you need to do to move forward. Just look at what you want that's not there. Okay, and then the next thing is looking at your thought patterns, okay? And this is a more difficult one because this really requires you to really step back and be the observer of your thoughts. Are there negative thought patterns that you go into constantly, right? These like downward spirals of thoughts, right? Where maybe you like look in the mirror and you see something you don't like, and then it gradually you go on this like downward spiral of thoughts about yourself, and you go into like these spirals of negative thinking, okay? Those are other things that are blocks that are keeping you small, right? So, and please write in the comments if this is speaking to you, because I definitely want to know. But I know this is something that I see with my clients all the time too, is like going into these downward spirals of negative thinking, right? And I can speak from personal experience because for me, I always used to do it with my body image, right? So I would look in the mirror, I wouldn't like what I saw, and then I would like go into this downward spiral of negative thinking, and all of a sudden I was like upset or depressed and I couldn't like move forward, right? So these are the things that are keeping us stuck and small. Those negative thoughts that you start to go into, and then you kind of go on this downward spiral. Sorry, I keep getting disconnected, sorry. So yes, going into those downward spirals of negative thoughts. Also, if you experience anxiety or overwhelming worry about things, these are all things that are keeping you stuck and small. And I know a lot of people can relate to the anxiety and the overwhelming worry. And one of the best ways to get to the root of this is through breath work. And I'm gonna show you guys at the end of this a simple breathwork technique that you can do to really release this fear and this anxiety. And it really is simple. And if you do it regularly, you really can make a shift. So I just want to talk for a minute about my story of stepping into my power, so you guys can kind of see an example of being able to recognize exactly what it is that's keeping you stuck and small, and how you can release it and push through the fear in order to really create the life that you want and step into your full power, the full version of you. So I want to say probably a year ago, because it's now been about over 6 months since I launched my business, but about a year ago, I was feeling very stuck. I wasn't really happy with myself, and that was just, I was projecting in different areas of my life that I was unhappy with. I was unhappy with my finances. I was unhappy with my body. I was unhappy with my job, right? There was so many things, but really I think all of these things that I was unhappy with, it was more that I was just unhappy within myself because I wasn't doing what I was truly supposed to be doing here on this planet. And there was like this push inside of me that was saying like, you need to be doing more, you need to be doing more. And that was looking on the outside like I was unhappy with all of these outer things, but really I was unhappy on the inside. So I really started to do a lot of work on myself, and I started to go to all of the healers, get a coach. I started doing all of the personal growth work, a lot of breath work, which I have always done, but I really started to do it more fully and consistently, and read everything that I could read. And what I really uncovered was that I wasn't fully in my power, and I was doing something that was only as a career that was only maybe taking up 25% of my talent. And I knew deep down that I was a healer and that I was supposed to be helping people heal, and I wasn't doing that. And the reason why I wasn't doing that is because I was telling the story to myself that I couldn't, because I was afraid of putting myself out there. I was afraid of what other people were going to think, and really just afraid that I wasn't going to be able to do it, right? And what ended up happening is I realized that I was never going to be happy unless I was really fully living what my gifts were. So I got a lot of help. Like I said, a lot of different healers. I worked, and please, guys, I welcome any comments or questions as I'm going along. But so yes, I invested massive time, energy, and money into my transformation, and ended up launching my business as a healer. I'm a breath worker and a psychic healer for those of you that don't know me. But what I really wanted to focus on here is that there was a lot of fear that came up, and I had to push through it. And I think that's the most important thing, because sometimes we think if we're afraid of something, it means that we shouldn't do it, or we use that fear as an excuse to keep us stuck by saying, oh, but I don't know what I should do. I'm confused. I'm not really sure. But really, the reason why we're saying we're confused or we're not really sure is because we're afraid to admit to ourselves exactly what we want, because it can be really, really scary. And the best way to deal with that fear is to push through it. And that's what I did. I kept doing things that were really, really scary to me, like putting myself out there on social media, saying that I was psychic, telling my family this. And it was all really, really scary, but I continued to push through the fear. And that's what really helped me to step into my power. And believe me, it's an ongoing process. But in order to fully step into your full power and authenticity, it's so important to notice those things that are keeping you small. Hi, Crystal. And really be able to take an honest look at the stories that you're telling yourself that are limiting you, right? And then being able to be super honest with yourself about what is actually holding you back. Because chances are you have stories that you picked up from childhood, you have limited thinking that you picked up from your family, and all of that has to be dealt with before you can fully step into your power. You need to be able to be super honest about who you really are and what you want. Oh, you're taking leaps now. Awesome. That's amazing. But it's so important to be able to be super, super honest about what you truly want and where you are and the things that you're doing to keep yourself small. Like those negative thoughts, negative spirals of thinking. Oh wait, totally. As someone who's known you for 20 years, I can 100% attest to this story. You're amazing. Oh, thank you, Emily. Such an inspiration to never stop working on yourself and being honest with yourself. It's true. It is a process. Let me just tell you, I have been doing this work for 20 years now. I discovered breathwork when I was 19, and I have never stopped working on myself. And finally, in this last year, I have really gotten to this point of being super, super honest with myself about who I am and what I came to this planet to do. And now that's what I want to empower other people to do. But it really starts with taking a deep look at yourself. And I'm going to talk about this in the next few days too, of what we have to do to really be able to step into our power. Like, we're going to talk about uncovering your divine gifts and being honest with yourself and admitting what you want, even if others may think you're crazy, is scary. but so powerful, Emily. That's so true. It is scary. And it was really scary for me. Like, there's always, you're 39, you looked, oh, thank you. Yes, breathwork keeps you young. So yeah, it is really scary, but I feel like the best way to really be able to step into your power is pushing through the fear, right? Because we have all of these beliefs that have been put upon us from society and our parents about like what we're supposed to be doing and what the right path is, or what you're supposed to do, like get a job and get married and like all of this stuff. But you can't, but that's not always what is right for us, right? And usually it's not what's right for us. And right now, I feel this huge awakening happening where everyone is kind of waking up to what their gifts are and waking up as a collective to this healing that is taking place. And we all have a contribution to make. And I really just want to empower other women and other people in general to wake up to what their gifts are so we can share them with the world. And that is kind of like this vision that I see for the future, is everyone just sharing their gifts with each other, like an exchanging of gifts is kind of like currency in order to help each other heal and help the planet heal. And that's why I really just love helping people uncover what their gifts are and figure out how to share them with the world. Because that's what I did recently, and now I just want everyone else to be able to do that too. So I want to share, and the other most important thing that I want to emphasize with this is releasing and recognizing what keeps you small is so important, but you can't do it on your own, right? And I really want to emphasize this because I feel like some people think, okay, like I'm going to do this, I'm going to like start meditating or do breath work on my own or whatever it is. And that's all great. But in order to make a huge transformation and really turn your life into something that is kind of like exactly in alignment with who you really are, you need to get help and support from other people. And I just want to make that really, really clear because I would not have been able to make the transformation that I made without all of the healers and people that have inspired me and helped me. So I just want to make that clear that like it's great to do work on your own and we should 100% do things on our own, but to have a community of like-minded women that are supporting each other is so important. Like, I don't think I would be here without that. So there's a couple of things that I want to share. So I did pull a card for the group, and the card that came up today was TikTok. And this is all about divine timing, right? And this is so important because I think once we kind of realize that we want to make a transformation and we want to start healing and we want to start growing and really living in alignment with who we really are, we think like, okay, it's supposed to happen right away, right? Like we think it, so now like we're gonna do it, and you know, by like a few months from now we're like have quit our job and are like on the path, right? Well, the universe doesn't always have the same plans as us. And it's so important to trust the divine timing of everything, that everything is unfolding exactly the way it's supposed to. And this has been a huge lesson for me as well, because I am the type of person, like I'm a Scorpio, I'm really, really intense. And once I decide to do something, I'm just like, okay, like I'm 100% doing this. I want it done yesterday. Like, and my mind starts racing and I just like am on fire, right? But I had to learn to like sit back and trust in the divine timing of everything, because it doesn't always unfold the way you think it's supposed to, right? It's about setting the intention of what you want to create and then allowing it to unfold and trusting in yourself and in your intuition and in the messages that you're getting that it's all going to unfold the way that it's supposed to. And it probably won't look the way you thought it was going to look. And that has happened for me with every step of the way with building my business. When I first started, I thought it was going to unfold one way. I thought that I was teaching classes at this breathwork studio, and I thought like that's exactly how my business was going to start unfolding. Then like COVID hit, and it was like all of a sudden, okay, now I'm working with everyone online, and it was totally different than what I thought. And it's so important to continue to trust in that and kind of like do this dance of like listening to yourself, trusting yourself, and having these visions of what you want to create, but then just like allowing them to unfold. So I think that's really, really important for, yes, it's the hardest to let go and trust the process. It is really hard because we want to like have control over things, right? And that's why we get stuck a lot of times in like thinking about the future, because what we're really doing when we're thinking about the future is we're like trying to control future outcomes. Like the ego and the thinking mind, like they want to be able to control and be able to predict what's going to happen, right? And it's so hard to kind of like surrender and just allow the process to unfold. And so that's what this card is telling us all that we need to hear right now, is we need to allow the process to unfold. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to show you guys a short breathwork exercise to release anxiety and fear. Okay, so first of all, the most important thing to do before you do this is I want you to, and this is sometimes difficult, I want you to allow yourself to feel the anxiety or the worry or the fear, right? Because I know we all have it. We all have it deep inside, whether or not you're feeling it right this moment, we all have it. So I want you to sit with your back straight, and I want you to close your eyes, and I just want you to take a moment to allow yourself to feel the anxiety, the worry, the fear, the uncertainty. So just take a moment and conjure that up. Allow it to come to the surface. And just sit with it for a moment. And then we are going to take 5 breaths in and out of the mouth. And I want you to imagine that the worry, anxiety, the fear, I want you to watch it leave your body on the exhale, okay? So if you want to open your eyes and just look at me for a moment, it's going to look like this. So you're just going to do that breath 5 times, and you're going to watch the anxiety leave your body on the exhale. So here we go. And then you can just open your eyes. And then let me know how you feel. Even just with 5 breaths like that, I know it can completely change the way that you feel. And you can consciously release feelings through the breath. And this is what I guide my clients to do, is consciously release those feelings through the breath. And when we do that, we create space for a new story. And that's what's so exciting, is watching people create a completely new story for themselves. I just did it an hour ago, not even an hour ago, like a half hour ago. I was with a client and I literally watched her create a new version of herself and step into it fully. And it was so powerful. I get like emotional about it. And it's so amazing. And we 100% have the power to do this. And we can really propel that process through breath work. So that was just a little snippet of the process that I do, but you can use that breath work at any point to help you release that energy. And instead of like, because sometimes when we feel anxiety or fear, we kind of like try to like put it to the side, or we distract ourselves by doing something else instead of allowing ourselves to feel it. But if you actually just go into the feeling of it and release it through the breath, it helps so much, because those feelings, they just want to be felt, right? The job of a feeling or an emotion is just for you to experience it. It's like a messenger just telling you like what you need to know at that moment. So if you look at it like that, all you need to do is just allow yourself to fully feel it, and then it'll dissipate. So you can use that at any time to let go of fear, anxiety, worry, or any of those feelings that are uncomfortable, but you really just have to allow yourself to go into the feeling. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Or if you want to share with me the fear that's holding you back, please let me know. Feel your feelings, but don't have to have feelings about your feelings. I love that. It's true. Just allow your feelings to be there. I think we've been taught by society and our family through modeling that like feeling your feelings is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for other people. Does it help with addictions? 100% helps with addictions. Yes. You can definitely heal an addiction through breath work. I actually work with a lot of recovering addicts as well. My last 2 clients that I just worked with are recovering addicts. So yes, it can totally help with that. But yeah, feelings just want to be felt, and they want you to experience them. And once you fully allow yourself to experience them, they dissipate. Because like I was saying, we're kind of taught by society like that we shouldn't show our feelings, or we shouldn't allow ourselves to feel them, and then we push them down and we don't fully allow ourselves to experience them, and then they kind of live stuck in the body waiting for you to experience them. And that's why the breath work is so powerful, because it opens you up to allow yourself to feel the feelings that are already there so they can dissipate, and so that you can create space to create a new story. So tomorrow and Wednesday, I'm going to go more into uncovering your divine gifts and taking action to help you not only uncover your divine gifts, but then how to share them with the world. So yeah, join me tomorrow, same time, and Wednesday at the same time. And also for those of you that are really serious about beginning your transformation, you can schedule a free transformation call with me. Yes, you really don't know why you don't really have to know why you're afraid, just feeling it and releasing it. Yeah, so it's really important to allow yourself to feel the feelings and allow yourself to release them. Now, with deeper fears around maybe like trauma or things that happened growing up, it is important to explore those more fully, for sure, especially if it's something that's recurring. It's definitely important to explore those. But in the moment when you have those fears come up, just allowing yourself to feel them fully and releasing them will allow you to move through it, right? But for those deeper fears or deeper traumas, it is important to explore those a bit more fully so you can understand and have an awareness around them so that you can let them go and create a new story. And that's really what I work with people on doing with my clients, is becoming aware of where those fears are coming from so that you can fully release them. Great question. Thank you, Lindsay. Okay, so yes, for those of you that feel ready to make your full transformation, if you're ready to go through a complete metamorphosis, if you are like tired of feeling stuck, if you're tired of repeating the same patterns over and over again, you're tired of seeing the same results in your life, the same relationships, the same thing with your finances, if you're tired of feeling stuck, and you are really ready to make a transformation and get support around that, then definitely set up a call with me, because I would be happy to talk to you more about how we can work together. And then I will see all of you tomorrow, same time. All right, thanks guys. Bye.